Welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart. I am your host, Osiris. And today's episode, I want to talk about cheating. And is it right to cheat? And how do we find our way around it? And things like that. So let's get into it. Let's get into from a perspective. My personal view on cheating is I don't agree with it. I really believe in being with one person despite all odds, despite anything that may come. And temptation will come. I don't care if you're married or in a relationship. There is always going to be temptation. That part I know it to be true and guaranteed that it will come your way. But how do you deal with it? Now, from my point of view, I really resist it, and I know when I see signs or what have you and all that kind of nonsense. But I really believe in when you're in a relationship with someone and really being serious about it. I think it's you're making that conscious statement to that person as well as yourself and what you condone in terms of relationship. And I really don't agree with cheating. That's just my personal view on it. But okay, and I know this is probably maybe a sore subject for people to hear in a way, but if you're tuning in, cheating from all aspects of it, there are people who would probably say there's a reason why people cheat, in terms of like there's pressure within a relationship, and don't get me wrong, okay, when I say this, okay, people are not perfect, so I understand when people said that they've cheated, what have you in that way. But if you haven't, that's fantastic too. That's really wonderful, and I think that's I believe, in my personal opinion, the direction to go forward in. But is it harder to stay in a relationship and avoid the temptation? Because people, it seems, readily, whether you be in a serious relationship or marriage, it's like people tend to do it more. I've seen. I'm not saying I know accurately because I don't really fuss about it, but my view about cheating and seeing other people just do it. I don't understand what people get out of cheating. Do you know what I mean? But people seem to have an excuse for it because it's like I've heard people would cheat because have an emotional breakdown in their relationship, so they go and they do it, but then they'll come back into their main relationship because they believe what they're saying is that they value that relationship. But maybe that's not really true, because if you valued it, you wouldn't have stepped out in the first place. Or maybe if you're put in a position where it was like hard to say no, or I've heard so many different variations and stories, but I don't know if anybody agrees with me or disagrees with me. Is cheating right to do, and how, and is it wrong to do? I mean, ultimately, I believe it's wrong. I just feel like that's, for me, from my personal view. I feel if you're in a relationship, don't have a relationship with that person, another person. But I guess as well, in the, I see it from one point of view where people can, I guess, shop, as it were, move around, as it were, in a way, because they're not sure what they want, in terms of that. But I don't believe in leading someone in a way that you're messing with people's hearts. You know what I mean? And especially in today's day and age, I'm not gonna put it directly to the younger generation because that's not fair. I think it doesn't matter at any level, or doesn't matter what age you are. The level of cheating is really bad. And I think in terms of when people make moves on people, the excuses that are made, especially if they know that someone's going out with someone, is so disgusting. But it works. Into some degree that I've heard. So it's interesting how the views on that particular subject, cheating, is put into the universe, and how what people see about cheating. I mean, I would like to think that if I'm put in that position, where it was presented to me, I would have every right to kind of, push it away, or even be honest with my partner if if it came that there was advances being made to me, because I feel a huge responsibility in honoring the relationship that I'm in. I think it's so important to honor the relationship, and if someone made an advance on me, I would like to be open to tell my partner that something had happened, that I had to refuse it and push it away, if that makes any sense, because things happen. And I think that trust, I think it's important to be honest in that way with your partner. There's things that I guess that you can't always be open about because you're still getting to know each other, but cheating is so big in terms of relationships. People are not taking relationships serious anymore, and I hope that cheating it's not something that you can ever get rid of. It's something that people just do, but it can leave the lasting effect. I want to know as well, would anybody take their partner back even after they've cheated and they've realized they made a mistake? I would want to know stuff like that from different people. Hopefully in some future podcasts we can have a discussion with people again. So this is just a feeler podcast about it, but I guess cheating and those kind of things in a relationship do bring an importance of how a relationship can move forward or not move forward, in times and that. But I feel that cheating, it's a bad thing, and I think to recover now, if it would be it'd be hard, you know what I mean, to recover from that. From my standpoint, I think if someone did it to me and they came back and they wanted to try again, even though I don't know, it would be very hard. I think that's why some people probably would hide it, if they didn't get caught, because they depending on they want to hurt a person, I guess. But I think cheating is not right, and I think if you have, for me personally, if you have feelings for someone else, I think the best thing to do is end the relationship with your partner. I think that's just where I come from. End the relationship, then go to that person, because you're setting yourself free. But if you are making advances at someone or doing something while you're still in a relationship with someone, I think, to me, that is a huge betrayal. And you're showing that person that you were in a relationship with that you don't care. And so all those words maybe, or all those conversations you've had of all those things, mean absolutely nothing, at the end of the day, when you allow yourself to be drawn by another person. And I just don't agree with that. I'm supporting couples to stay together. That's another thing I want to I'm in my pursuit of researching about couples staying together. I'm very much inspired by couples staying together, couples who've been in serious relationships for a long time, couples who are on that road to marriage. I want to know more about this. I want to search for them, because I believe that they're out there, and I believe that, I'm going to get inspired by them, going forward, moving forward, and I want to do as much research as I can